Hi, I'm Ayden, and welcome back to Silly Little Giggles. Today, I have with me
Dakota.
Dakota, and today we're going to be asking Dakota some questions about band and wrestling and what he thought of the play last night, because he went.
I did.
And you can be cool, and you can go too.
You can. It's a very
Dates.
incredible play.
Dates are up here. Come see it. So, first question. You are in your first year band member, right? Correct?
Second year band.
Second year, huh? You're a freshman.
Yeah, they do a thing where they allow 8th graders to come in and march with them.
Yeah, that's right, because isn't Layla
Yes.
doing it? Layla is doing it.
Yeah.
Little cymbal player. So, well, instead of first year band, how's your second year of band going for you?
I mean, it's going pretty good.
It's good. Elaborate a little bit more.
The season gets tough throughout, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There's bumps throughout, you know.
Mhm.
There's always going to be those, though.
I've heard, especially in the rehearsals in the summer, it can be awful because y'all are outside and it's so hot, and like y'all don't get to do it inside, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate. But you just kind of have to, because you're marching on what you're going to be marching on there in the football field.
Yeah.
So, but it works out.
Yeah.
So, you already asked how you like it so far. Is it something you think you'll keep doing?
I do think I will continue to do this throughout my high school career.
Good deal. What instrument do you do? I don't know. I do not remember. What instrument do you do?
I play the saxophone.
You do play the saxophone.
I do play the saxophone.
I wanted to play. So, fun fact, I was actually a band kid in middle school in
Wow,
like
you were a
6th,
band
7th grade.
Okay.
And I wanted to play the saxophone. And our band director had a person that came to the school, and certain people could get saxophone lessons. And I wanted to do it so bad. And he was, no, sir, you cannot do it.
Oh, that's tough.
So I was upset. I was not very happy about it.
I would be upset too. I would be very upset if I did not get my saxophone lessons.
I know.
I would be very upset.
If you looked at me and we had no idea who each other were, what instrument do you think I'd play?
I think you would be a snare drummer.
A snare drummer?
I think you'd be something in percussion, either like percussion or a trombonist.
I was originally going to be a trombone.
You were gonna be a trombone. Okay.
I was originally going to be a trombone player, but I didn't like how big it was. And so I wanted to switch to clarinet or flute. And so I went to my bank director
Don't
and I was
switch
like,
to clarinet.
and so I was like, "Hey, I don't want to do this. Do you have any clarinet or flutes?" And he said that there were a whole bunch of flutes, but barely any clarinet. So we would sit behind during special areas, and he'd give me clarinet lessons, and I played clarinet. And man, I have always gotten that I would look like some kind of brass or a trombone player. I've never got a snare player.
Yeah,
That's
like
different.
whenever I first saw you, I thought you were in band. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe he's a new band member. I'm like, okay, he's probably something in percussion.
I honestly, there's sometimes that I wish I did band more in high school, but I am going to do concert band this year. So
Ooh, what are you gonna play? What are you gonna play?
Probably,
Saxophone. Do it.
I wish, but I just don't think it's worth it to learn a whole new instrument. I'm going to play bass.
He hates the saxophone.
I love the saxophone. I love a good saxophone solo.
Oh.
I love saxophone. But no, I could relearn clarinet, but we already have so many clarinets.
Yeah,
There's
we
no
do. We have
point.
like 10.
There's no point of...
We have like 10 or 11.
And so, but bass guitar is something cool. I'm excited to see what Jack does with the cello.
Yes,
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I've heard him and seen him play cello, and it is. You'd never expect Jack of all people to be a cello player.
I know.
Whenever I saw him with a cello, I'm like, Jack playing cello? What?
Jack Montecourt playing cello.
Yeah, I was. Apparently, he's better at the cello than he is at the trombone.
So, what made you want to do saxophone? What got you into that?
Oh, okay. This is a bit of an interesting story. So, whenever I got into school, and then like we had the band concerts during the day, and then me and my brothers got older, and my brothers got into band, and then I found out that my mom was in band and she played the saxophone, and I was like, okay, saxophone. That's it. That's what I want to play.
Saxophone. I wanted to do saxophone so bad.
And so I started out playing alto my 6th grade year. I played it through my 6th grade year, half of my 7th grade year, and then I switched to tenor,
Ooh.
which is incredible.
What's the difference between the alto and tenor saxes?
Okay, so there are a lot of different kinds of saxophones. The most commonly used will be the soprano, the alto, the tenor, and the bari.
Mm-hmm.
So the soprano is higher pitched than the alto, and so
Alto is I'm guessing it's more like middle of the road.
yes, it is more like middle of the road. So like soprano is going to be more like your flute and clarinet ranges, and then alto is going to be like your middle ground, kind of like trumpet ranges, and then tenor gets down with like the trombone baritone ranges, and then the bari sax, which recently I've had an opportunity to get to play bari sax.
Ooh.
Oh, it's a little.
It's low.
It is very low, and it is a little over half as tall as me. It is. It's a little embarrassing, but I mean, hey, it's very cool, very interesting. It's very interesting to get to play like different kinds of saxophones and getting the skills on each of the saxophones.
It's so weird how it's there's different types of just one instrument.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Because like you'd be like, oh, maybe this is like the only one. Like even with flute, you'll think that like the flute's the only one, but the flutes get bigger, a lot bigger.
They do?
They do. Yes, they do.
Huh.
Actually, it's crazy. They do get a lot bigger.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I just thought that they were like the little ones.
No, they have.
Well, I know there's like piccolo flute. Which is
There's
smaller.
a piccolo flute. That is very cool. That's most commonly heard in Stars and Stripes Forever. That piccolo solo, which is very interesting. And then clarinet, it can go down or up. And the thing with the different saxophones and different clarinets is that they switch
Clefs.
keys that they're not clefs, keys. So the soprano sax is tuned to B flat, which is the same as a clarinet or a trumpet. Alto is tuned to E flat, which not a lot of instruments are tuned to E flat, which makes the saxophone very interesting because not many other instruments are tuned to that E flat. And then tenor will go back to B flat, and then bari would go back to E flat.
Because y'all play in like the halftime show was in B flat, right? I think
It changes key signatures.
But
all three of the movements started in concert B flat pitched, and then changed to. Can't remember what it changed to, but it was the same key signature in every song. It switched about halfway through.
Gotcha. So y'all did like little key changes.
Yes.
Cool. So kind of on that same topic of what got you into band? What made you want to do it? Was it also your brother's
It
playing
was
instrument?
it was my brother's, and then like the band director that we used to have, her name was Miss Babbitt. She was a band director, and like she knew my brothers were in band, so she talked to me, and like I got into it, and then COVID hit the end of my 4th grade year, and I was homeschooled 5th grade. I came back 6th grade. She was gone.
Yeah.
I was kind of sad. And we got a new band director. He doesn't have a hairline. Don't tell him I said that. He gets on to me when I say it.
We had so at my school we had like 3 different band directors when I got there. So we had the one when I got there. We had the one. I cannot remember his name, but he was the one that taught me.
Martin, right?
I went to Pleasant Hill.
Oh, Pleasant Hill.
Yeah.
Pleasant Hill kid.
Pleasant Hill kid. So it was him and his wife. I cannot remember their names for the life of me, but they were the sweetest people. But they were old, so they ended up retiring.
And I know y'all got Mr. Buttram.
No, we got Mr. Buttram later. We went through another one. I think his name was Mr. Savage, and no one really liked it. We weren't a big fan of him because it took so long to get up to that like advanced stuff for concerts that we did. Mr. Buttram came around, and everyone loved Mr. Buttram. I love Mr. Buttram.
Yeah. And I heard he was like very strict on like switching instruments. Like if he wanted you to play this instrument, like you had to play it. And then like a lot of people I know that went to Pleasant Hill went through 4 or 5 different instruments.
I actually got to play bass guitar when he came to Pleasant Hill, because when he got there was an opening. They started offering bass guitar, and so I was able to start playing that and switch from clarinet.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. But now he moved to Cookeville, I think. If I remember.
Around the Cookeville area.
Somewhere in Monterey.
Yeah, Monterey. I think he moved somewhere in Monterey. I've heard the new band director there is not the best.
I've heard he's not very outgoing.
Yeah, I've heard he's...
Word from the wise.
Yeah.
Anyway, on topic of the halftime show, what did you think of it? What were your thoughts on it?
So...
Aerospace.
Aerodynamics.
Aerodynamics.
It could have been better. We could have had one that was more known to the audience we were playing to. Because last year we did Star Wars, and so
cool.
everyone's gonna know Everyone's gonna know Star Wars.
I loved Damien's his outfit.
Yes, his Jedi robes.
I know, it was so cool.
Yes, that was incredible.
Damien,
his Jedi robes.
He ate down with that one.
He did. But I think the most recognizable piece was definitely gonna be Star Trek, the third movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it could have been better.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I thought it was very
the
cool.
music was pretty easy. So I mean, the music could always be harder.
Yeah.
Because for me, I've never really had very difficult music. Definitely, high school has definitely been the hardest music I've had. But even now, it's not that hard. And I'm sure you know Zach.
Yeah.
The chamber ensemble he started. I was invited to play in that, and
I was also invited to play in that.
Actually?
To play bass guitar for one of their
why
pieces.
didn't you?
Well, it hasn't happened yet. I'm gonna do it for sure.
Okay. Yeah. When is it? March?
I think it's what they said. The
Yeah,
summer.
It'll probably be the March or the May. If it's a summer concert, it'll be like the May concert.
I need to talk to Eve about it. So
Yeah.
because they were the one that came up to me about
yeah.
it. So.
But and like that music was definitely a little difficult, but still, I've never had to practice a piece of music. I still to this day, I've never had to practice a piece of music. So I mean, it's very interesting. People are like, "Oh, I can tell you've been practicing." I'm like, "No, I haven't." They're like, "What do you mean? You're this?"
No, sir.
I'm like, "You're very good at the piece. How have you not practiced?" I'm like, "I just don't practice."
Do you think? So I'm sure you've seen the videos of marching bands playing "Sticky" by Tyler the Creator.
Oh yes.
Do you think that will maybe happen next year?
I honestly don't know.
Not as necessarily as
like
a
a halftime
full,
piece.
but
Yeah, like a stand
just a tune.
Yeah,
a stand tune.
Yes. Speaking of that, I have a group chat with a few of my friends, and he sent one of them sent that video of somebody playing Sticky
Of the
as a stand tune.
HBCU.
It wasn't that one. It was just like a random guy playing Sticky.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "We need this as a stand tune." I'm like, "Yes,
I love it.
Johnson, make it happen."
I think he made that song with marching band and stuff in mind.
Yeah,
Because there's a video
Yeah.
of him in the studio with snare drums and bass drums in the studio making it.
Yeah. It definitely has some marching band type style in it.
Yeah.
And so I think that was kind of an inspiration for it. I don't know the backstory behind Tyler the Creator or if he was in a band or anything. I have no idea.
He has I saw a speech he did at an awards ceremony. He's going on 3 instruments that he's learning right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. So what has been your favorite band memory so far?
Oh, that's honestly a very tough question.
Okay, let's narrow it down. This year. This
year's favorite memory. I think it has honestly been the bus rides. The performances are incredible. Incredible opportunities. Incredible people I've met going to some of these competition and football games. But the bus ride in the back with the boys, because this year they've separated the bus, because last year we had a boy bus and a girl bus.
Really?
And so I was able to hang out with all my guy friends. And then this year they moved it to all the flutes, clarinets, saxophones on one bus, then brass, percussion, and color guard on the other bus. And so there's not very many guys in the woodwind section. And so
you have Alex.
we have it was me, Alex, Asa, Elijah, Ethan, and Henry. And so yeah, that was definitely very cool, getting we all got our own seats. Oh, and Mike. I forgot about Mike. How could I forget about Mike? Mike, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I forgot about you. But yeah, it's definitely cool getting to sit, in the back,
It's so weird.
Yeah.
You think that they just everyone for themselves.
They did that a few years back when we had a smaller band. It was just one bus. But
Yeah.
I was looking at.
He said high school students and blankets don't mix. Am I allowed to say that?
I don't know.
It's fine. It's fine. Rickman won't.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. I'm sorry.
All right.
Yeah.
Wrestling.
Wrestling.
So